Alright, after that sound beating round one by Is It Blitz, we're back for more punishment, I mean victories. This hand, well, we have the life staff in our hand again. This is actually one of the last cards I ended up with in the main deck. A lot of the other parts seem have been there for a lot longer, and it's certainly not. I'm certainly not as firm on it being good as a lot of the other cards in the deck. It was certainly in the sideboard for quite a long time, but it could easily be that like this should be Viridian Longbow. You know, if this is another matchup where this sucks, then sure. But then again, that's maybe just results orientated thinking, where this is like it's just unlucky that I had this in my opening hand 2 times. Also, something I discovered recently, it's apparently a UK thing to say orientated, whereas most other places say oriented. And honestly, I hadn't even noticed there were 2 different words until fairly recently. Fun fact of the day. Well, that's not really that fun, is it? Alright, so it looks like our Spell Starter Sprite not going to be that good for the time being, since they've already played 2 1-mana things. Time to play... I think I want to play Coiling Oracle first. That's a good start. Since like next turn, if I want to, I can play Sylvan Ranger, get the Mountain and Flame Slash anyway. But the upside of this hitting like a fetch land would be pretty high. I think I'll take that one. So, Oracle with the Life Staff on it can trade for Frogmite. That's interesting. They obviously have quite a few artifacts just lying around at the moment. Flame slashing this thing like isn't super since they have like artifacts to sacrifice to it, but I want to like reduce the amount of permanents they have at the moment, and then I can like equip Coiling Oracle and hold up Spellstarter Sprite anyway. Or I can play Sylvan Ranger and guarantee a land drop next turn. Yeah, I think that's probably better actually. I guess I don't usually need multiple green, so I'll stick with this. So if they want to attack with Frogmite, they need to equip the Flare Husk to it, which loses them the germ, and then I can, you know, double blocker and all that sort of thing. I'll be delighted if they let me trade for this Frogmite. Another useful part of the Life Staff here is it either forces them to equip the Life Staff onto Atog, or you know, they have to sacrifice an artifact to get past the Coiling Oracle, whereas normally if they attack with Atog and you need to block, like 1/1s just chump. So it seems like it would be mildly annoying for them. So they only have 1 card left. If it's a fling, then we're in danger. That would be, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, 17 damage if there's a fling. And possibly more if they hit an artifact off this. Oh, could have miscounted it, to be fair. Alright. I will be snapping off a block on this guy. So I think what I need to do here is block there to trade here, chump the Atog with this, and eat the germ here, because I don't want to take any extra damage, as mentioned. Okay, so that's a good start. So, what should I do here? I'm thinking I just want to equip Lifestaff and play another Muldrifter. The equipped Muldrifter can trade with a Somber Hoverguard. And if they attack with Atog, I will absolutely block with the other Muldrifter as well, just so that if they want it to survive, they go down a permanent. The Aether Spell Bomb, if I can get that into play, then I think that leaves us relatively safe from a big Atog attack, but that's interesting. So that changes things a bit. They definitely don't have Fling. And if they were to sacrifice all their permanents, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this could be a 13 power creature. And this would get us for 4. I guess not, actually, it gets for 3 since this would be sacrificed. So you wouldn't die. So I'm thinking that we might just want to take it this time. Since I don't think we can die, then we can equip the Muldrifter again next turn, play Aether Spellbomb, and like play like Coiling Oracle, get some bodies into play. Now we can also like emerge our Wretched Griff, like sacking this Coiling Oracle, which seems relatively good. But I think what I'd rather do is just get the Aether Spellbomb into play first. We have the Spell Sprite available if it looks like it's a good time to try and ambush the opponent. Like, maybe they, try and kill our creatures to swing in with everything and we just want to chump block, and that would be acceptable. But having the Aether Spellbomb in play makes their Atog a lot more of a liability, since if they ever want to deal extra damage with it, they're obviously risking the Spellbomb. That's not great, I don't think, for me. So if they have Fling again, they can still have the same amount of artifacts. So I'm gonna go ahead, block here, chump block this Mirror Enforcer. And if they want to sacrifice any permanents, I will be on board. But if they don't, it looks like I'll trade with a creature, gain 3. And if they don't play something, I can spell Starter Sprite. Like, even though I want to counter a Galvanic Blast, and at this stage of the game, would be highly desirable, I do sort of need to get Wretched Griff out. It's also vaguely tempting to Aether Spellbomb my Coiling Oracle or something back to my hand, just so I can reuse it. But I can always do that with my other creatures too. So come on, play a 1-drop. No, that's an equip. That's not what I wanted at all. Well, they tanked long about this and they didn't play their card. Do you think they actually have the Galvanic Blast? I think they might. I'll leave it one more turn. Well, that's not what I wanted to see either. So if I get Pyrite Spellbomb and leave that looming in play, I can like block the Mirror Enforcer and then finish it off with Pyrite Spellbomb. Aha! Called it. We did it. Unfortunately, we had the choice of either leaving up blue mana or red mana, and I think it's still safer to leave up blue, so. So this turn, our blocks. It could be the case that I want to like put Trinket Mage in front of Atog, so if they want to keep it alive, they need to go down a land, and then I can bounce it. Or I can like double block the Mirror Enforcer to trade for it with these creatures. So that I get the Mirror Enforcer off the table and I gain 3 life. And since we have drawn quite a lot of lands, I can just cast Retrogryph. And if they ever take the Flare Husk off the Frogmite, then I can also just kill Frogmite. Alternatively, I can use it at any time to just make them sacrifice an artifact, which obviously isn't the most high impact thing ever, but they're at no cards, and Atog is a hungry beast. Yeah. Alright, Magic Online stopped freaking out slightly. I do like the effect that this has, because it sort of just forces them to just never use Atog. So, while it doesn't look like it's doing that much, it makes everything a lot less scary for me. Another thing, obviously, I can do with the Pirate Spellbomb is sacrifice it to just draw a card. But I don't think I need to do that at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I suppose I should have considered playing Evolving Wilds first to just thin my deck before drawing the card, but the upside of drawing an untapped land to like equip Sylvac Lifestaff and that sort of thing was quite high. So I'm just going to leave up Aether Spellbomb again rather than equip Lifestaff. This is worse if they draw Galvanic Blast specifically, but it means they can't attack. Or they can, if they want to sacrifice 2 permanents in order to get their Atog bounced. This is an interesting game. The like control package that this deck has isn't completely overbearing, but in conjunction with just having a bunch of creatures, it's been clearly working out alright. Another good reason to keep this alive is that if they draw like Somber Hover Guards, they just can't use it. Alright. So I think I can just start getting stuck in now. Finally. Turn 9, get to attack. Because now I can... So I have options. I can either just like fire off the Steam Core Beard to deal like 2 damage to this thing and then emerge out of it. Or I can just cast this. No emerging required. And then next turn it'll be I can also just get full value from the Steam Core Weird and have a a 1/3 left over. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they still can't kill me if they have a fling. All right, I'm gonna swing in with both my creatures here. If I want to sacrifice some permanents to the Atog, I am on board with that. And I also will have some spare mana to equip my Lifestaff for a change. So this weird is just gonna basically make them sacrifice a permanent. I could go upstairs with it too, but I think taking a permanent off the board is safer. Fewer things can go wrong. And I'm not a big fan of things going wrong, so... And then after I see if they sacrifice it or not, then I have slightly more information on my Seagate Oracle. I'm going to leave 2 red untapped in case I draw Flame Slash. Ooh, another Steamcore Weird, or a Coiling Oracle. Just gonna take the weird and equip an insect. And leave up my bombs. It's actually kind of funny the amount of incidental reach we have in the deck between Steamcore Weird and Pirate Spell Bombs. Like sometimes you like sit there with like a couple of Pyrotic Spell Bombs in play, then like end of turn lightning bolt them, and then like weird them to death when they don't expect it, which is always pretty sweet. But this time I'm going to deal 2 damage to an Atog. And the F6. Okay. Ooh, the Elder. So if I stick the Lifestaff onto it with the Horrid Swarm, this is 8 damage if they don't block, leaving them dead to the weird in my hand. I can... What if I attack with everything? Is that a good idea? It probably is a good idea. Alright, we're on the scoreboard. So we get to board in Hydroblasts, since they have Atogs, Blasts, Flings. We don't get to bring in Pyroblast, I don't think. Like, we can consider it, because they have Hoverguard and like Thoughtcasts. But I'm not that high on it, since Atog's usually more important. Yeah, obviously Ancient Crunch and Gorilla Shaman. The Bone Splitter is less important in this matchup than like this Lifestaff. I think Lifestaff is fairly good there. The Spellstutter Sprites, they're good in situational, well, situations, I suppose, but not that many. And I think like Pirate Spellbomb's not as good as like all the other removal spells. And I think like 1 Mill Drifter is maybe a bit too slow. I'm not a big fan of Tangle, since I'd rather just try and interact with their permanents more. And it's certainly possible I should have like 1 or 2 Pyroblasts, but I guess I could take out like 1 Wretched Griff for them, since we're just sort of moving into like full control mode. Like we could take out like a Sylvan Ranger or something, or like a Coiling Oracle. But I think we can handle the hover guards. And if they want a thought cast, it's usually fine because the cards they're drawing on average are weaker than mine's. So I'd rather just kill the actual threats and let them draw more Springleaf Drums and that sort of thing. Obviously, the hands where they like thought cast into like 2 more thought casts, I'd probably want some Hydroblasts, but Pyroblasts rather. So many blasts. So this hand doesn't have red, but that's a-okay. We're gonna Coiling Oracle and then Seagate Oracle. Also, multiple oracles going on here. And hopefully that'll find us red, and then we'll be good from there. Our hand is a bit on the slow side. It doesn't have the interaction that we board into, but I mean, all of our cards will hopefully draw us into action. So we'll see. Nice island here. I like this one. Acre Wellspring, that is okay. I wonder if they were pondering if we had a null or not. So we could obviously play Terramorphic Expanse there to get the red, but I'd rather just start getting on the board. Well, a Mulldrifter's not awful. I mean, hopefully it'll be good at some point. They don't have much in the way of threats at the moment. Well, there's a Somber Hoverguard that I was dismissing earlier, but not with the actual card dismiss, because that would be great. Well, the way I see it here is that I have tons of stuff to do with my mana, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have a window of opportunity to play Coiling Oracle. So I'd much rather take Forest here, so that on turn 5 I definitely have an untapped land to hardcast a Mulldrifter if I need to. And next turn I can like play Seagate Oracle, like Terramorphic Expanse. Opponent definitely taking a relaxed pace, figuring out their sequencing here. It probably means that their hand is quite dangerous for me because they're probably working out if they can kill me basically at any time. I guess this is the risk of some of the hands that are just card drawing, because sometimes all you see is lands and more card drawing. Like so. I'll take Pyrite Spellbomb and just start fetching mountains. No attacks, of course, since we don't have any good attacks, and we're almost certainly going to have to do some blocking on this Atog. So one nice thing we can do is, like, if we double block the Atog with a couple of Seagate Oracles, they have to like sacrifice at least one permanent to keep it alive. But if they want to kill both the Seagate Oracles, then they need to sacrifice multiple permanents, which I'm always in favour of when the potential for Fling is around. Now, if they have Fling, though, in their hand right now, it's 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 18. So if they have Fling, we're dead, basically. Our hand did not pan out in the way that we hoped. So we just need to hope that they don't have it, and well, the Krark Clan Shaman has arrived. That's an interesting choice. I don't think I would board it in against my deck specifically, but I suppose it's something. Yeah, so this is one of the nice things about them seeing the Fairy, is that given that they just played Electrickery, they definitely think that I have a bunch more Fairies in my deck than I do. So the next question is if I'm like double blocking Atog still. So between my creatures, they only have 4 toughness, so they would only need to sacrifice one more permanent to kill them both. The other option is I can like double block Frogmite. And if I do that, then I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yep. Yes, I already did the math in this. Don't know why I did it again. So I guess I'm just chumping the Atog here because I don't really have like good blocks in the Frogmite since all my creatures have 1 damage on them already. As for next turn, what are we doing? I'm thinking we probably need to play Trinket Mage. In order to kill Pyrex, in order to get the Aether Spellbomb. Unless we get a Hydroblast or something. Well, we got a Hydroblast. This is very important because if we go ahead and like Pyrex Spellbomb out this Somber Hoverguard, the opponent next turn, and like if we just like leave 1 blue up, opponent next turn might sacrifice like all their permanents to try and like kill me, and then I can Hydroblast him. So I'm gonna like just go ahead and use the Pirate Spellbomb like immediately, since I actually want them to go for it. I think it's one of our good ways to win this game is them just to try and kill me with the Atog next turn. I mean, they obviously might not, but they probably think we don't have too much, given that like this is like the best we can do. And all we've been playing so far is like some chaff. Maybe they also think that we have some like small creatures in play, like in our hand that we don't want to play. Well, I think I don't want to go too risky, since if I wait until they attack, tap all their sacrifice, like tap some mana, then sacrifice all their permanents to have a lethal Atog in play, then I'm forced to Hydroblast at Atog, then they can respond with Fling. But if I just block here, they need to like at least sacrifice 1 permanent, and like in response to that I can Hydroblast, which means they don't have enough to fling me out with 1 of the pumps on the stack. Since they could make it an 11 power guy, but alright, they're not going for it, which I respect. Carapace Forger. Okay, it's looking a little bit scary at the moment. And they have another Atog. Well, it's going to be a tough game. It's definitely a tough game, I think. I want to get a second mountain, since we have a few blue already. So what I'm going to do here is I think just get Life Staff, since I can then like put the Life Staff on the Seagate Oracle and hold up Hydroblast. Which I think will be quite good against like their Frogmite and all those things. And while I think we can stay alive using Hydroblast and aggressive blocking. And I think we can like take this sets us up to not die randomly to more Galvanic Blasts and things in the long term. And I think we have the long game like in a good way. The shaman does make the math very complicated though, since it needs artifacts to sacrifice itself. So I think if we block here and like block here, can like threaten to take the frogmite off the table, and if they try to go big with this Atog, it can hydroblast it. They're limited on mana this turn with what they can do. Like if they have like a pyroblast, that would be quite good for them. Yeah, it's tough. At least it is for me. I'm not a math scientist. Ah, they're going big with this Atog. I mean, that makes sense. No, they're just trying to put me to 7. I don't think I can. Don't think I can. I guess I can allow that because I still don't die to Galvanic Blast if I just leave Hydroblast up. It's looking pretty sketch though. So I think maybe what I need to do is emerge out this Wretched Griff. Or I can play Trinket Mage. Yeah, it seems like getting the second mountain earlier was actually a giant mistake. Since I guess I underestimate how long I was going to be holding this Hydroblast for. I was thinking I was going to be like using other cards more often, but yeah, looks like might be bad times. If this is like a Galvanic Blast or a Fling, I obviously have to Hydroblast it. But if they just have 2 cards that are lethal for me, then I have to do something. That's not ideal, since it increases the chance that they'll have just 2 lethal cards. Oops, that's not the correct land for that. So yeah, I probably punted this game, I suppose. Yeah, they're obviously digging for a lethal card. But I guess if they don't hit the lethal card, it might be alright. But no, they found it. Alright, so let's see if I can play better this time. I don't think I want to add in any of these cards again, since it would have been alright if I just, played better, I think. Alright, this hand looks sweet. We have Flame Slash for an early 4/4. We have Ancient Grudge just to really nail them, I guess, basically. Especially if they just play like land go. Get into Ancient Grudge, they're like first 2 lands while we set up casting Mulldrifters and stuff. Seems pretty sick. Chromatic Star, that's fine. So obviously get an island here since we don't have one. And like if we draw like a 2-drop, I think I'll cast that and save Ancient Grudge for like more threats rather than trying to screw them over. But yeah, it looks like a promising start. I'll say that much. I mean, obviously, if they have like a nuts hand here and play like 5 Mirror Enforcers, I play I'm aware is legal, but fine. And it's fine, we can't Ancient Grudge a Citadel anyway. So I'm just going to play another Coiling Oracle. If we hit an untapped land, I think I would have considered Ancient Grudging Deceit there. But all I really want to do here is just get myself set up, since I think I can handle their threats reasonably well with this hand. Although the fact that I only have one red maybe makes that a weaker plan than normal. Their hand was definitely fairly resilient to being Ancient Grudge this time. Like if they'd led with like Flair Husk even, I would have maybe been more inclined to try and screw them. But no, I was definitely playing these Coiling Oracles. So what I want them to have, oh well, I mean, Electrickeries are fine with me, honestly. Like they don't actually bother me too much. So I think what I'm just going to do here is I'm going to Trinket Mage for Great Furnace. It's good to hit lands. We need them. We need more red, theoretically. But yeah, the Coiling Oracles already did their job, so it doesn't bother me. Well, if they equip Flair Husk onto something, that'll be mildly annoying, but they didn't, so that's nice. So, Flame Slash. Ancient Grudge here. And I think I can leave up Ancient Grudge. Is that a good idea? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can make a 15/15 Atog. For flinging purposes. So I don't need to Ancient Grudge to keep them off lethal. And I think I'd rather wait to see if they like, just draw Mirror Enforcer. If they don't play anything else, I think I'm gonna like throw this out there. Just to take a permanent off the board. And obviously they might just kill me now, but I mean I'm going to be blocking with the Trinket Mage, I'm pretty sure. Since now that it's a 3/3 3-power guy, they can give it an extra bunch of power, kill me. Somber Hoverguard. It might mean that I need to kill the Flair Husk. Alright, that's pretty unfortunate, I think. The many Atog draw and we don't have any Hydroblasts. So we have options. I think Steam Core weirding the Homburg Guard is a good idea. If they have Fling as their last card, then they've set up the board well and they've drawn multiple Atogs, so I can't really get past it in the moment. I'm gonna block this one, so if they want to kill my creature, they need to sacrifice another thing. But like say, if they have, they can't have Fling because they don't have the red mana for it. So if they want to sacrifice a permanent, I'm a-okay with that. And then like next turn, I can play Sylvan Ranger plus Coiling Oracle. Or I can play Trinket Mage into land Coiling Oracle. That seems more efficient, because it is. And means they have to trade something again. On the other hand, it's weaker, like if they have a counterspell. Not really, I guess. Alright, so getting Seat and playing Coiling Oracle. Might hit a land from this, which would be fine. Wretched Griff. Alright. Keep getting Muldrifter flooded against this opponent. It's not exactly... Like, it's obviously the card you sort of want as the game goes along, but really just wanted to draw, like, I don't know, 5 of our 1 mana cards, and then and then draw Muldrifter, you know? Not the other way around. So I can block here, and force them to sacrifice permanent. They can only deal 13 with an Atog. I mean, I get, like, again, if they have Fling plus a creature, they can kill me, but I'm gonna try and just take 1 damage a few times. So once I get to play It of the Horrid Swarm, then I get to block a lot better. Kark Clan Shaman, alright. Wickerbow Elder, not super in this scenario. I guess this does sort of clean up the insects. I guess we do have, like, do kind of want to keep things in play. Oh well, I guess what I'm going to do here is just cast Muldrifter, I think. Or does that just get me killed? It possibly gets me killed. So if I play Sylvan Ranger, they can respond by sacrificing an artifact to kill my 2 1 toughness Durdlers, and then I don't get to emerge. Am I dead either way if I cast Muldrifter? I can, like, cast Wretched Griff by emerging it and hope to draw into, like, a Hydroblast or something, or like a red spell, like a burn spell. But I obviously don't have the information on what I'm going to draw if I do that. So if I do Muldrifter, then they sack an artifact, so I only have 1 blocker. Then I, like, chump block Carapace Forger. Then you can 5, 6, 7. It can not quite kill me, I think. So I'm just gonna go with Muldrifter because I need to basically hit removal spells rather than hitting all these really clunky draws. Like, I really just wanted to draw some lands this game. I mean, I obviously sideboarded out some of the expensive cards anyway. So, like, our hand's definitely been a bit on the sketchy side throughout this game. Like, I am gradually removing their permanents, but it's going too slowly. So Calling Oracle's not doing very much as is, so like I say, they can mess with the emerge if ability goes on the stack, for example. Ugh, oh dear. Okay, so I guess I can, like, Trinket Mage for not very much. I can, like, get another land, which admittedly is something I'm interested in. But okay, so let's see what happens if I Sylvan Ranger. I can get a forest because I'm going to need to play this guy at some point soon. I can emerge out a Wretched Griff. That doesn't seem like a super plan either. I guess I can like bluff the Hydroblast. Hope they don't kill me. I'm just going to get Tree of Tails since I need lands. And it might seem more suspicious if I don't play one of a 1-mana card. Do need to play a bit faster though. I'm obviously having to think quite a lot during these turns, but my time is running slightly low. If they just attack with Carapace Forger, I would be delighted. Oh no. It's gonna block Atog because I'd rather them sacrifice a land rather than the Frogmite, I think. Wait, I don't know, maybe I didn't think that through. Alright, drew a Lightning Bolt. I think I'm gonna... Let's see, so if I bolt this Shaman, that's quite good, I think. Then... play this. Then I can do some blocking and like blowing up something, though maybe I should have blown up something already. I'm keeping up this again because I want to demonstrate that I possibly have Hydroblast. No, I definitely punted there. I should have blown up something because I think if they just attacked with everything there, I was probably dead because they can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12. Yeah, so that they can kill me. But I'm gonna go ahead, blow up Frogmite, trade off. Faster, faster, must play faster. So commentary will decrease during next turn, during the rest of the game, I think. No magic online, don't die. Well, I actually, assuming my Magic Online doesn't like freeze again, I might do it. But things got slow. I have enough power now to kill them in time. I just need to press F6 a few times. And also, I need not to just randomly time out. Because You know, Windows 10 has these issues with using your hard disk at like 100% capacity for basically no reason sometimes. I mean, there's basically nothing that I'm doing that's should be using my hard disk, but looking at my console will probably tell you that I'm like just spiking to 100%, which slows everything down, obviously. But yeah, 16 seconds should be fine. Oh, cheeky, trying to like float some mana. But there you go. See, at least at the end of the game, they showed us another Electricity, which is basically a card I would be delighted for them to draw up most times. While mildly annoying, it doesn't stop me from answering their threats, and it doesn't really answer like my big threats. Like it can obviously clear up some insect tokens and stuff, but if like through most of the game this was like a Fling or a Galvanic Blast, it would have been much better. So I don't know exactly what we're taking out. But wow, we squeezed out a game there. And I'll be back for round 3 after restarting various programs.